Alright, so a couple years ago, I made a video called The Secret to Consistency or something like that. And yeah, I did not stick to it myself. But hear me out. I have no excuses. I could say everything in the world like, oh, I went back to school, so I was taking full credit classes. I was working 3 jobs. I was doing this. I could say all the things in the world, which could be true, but genuinely, I have no excuses, all right? YouTube is something that I love to do, and it's something that I want to make my full-time job, and I just didn't show up for it. And it's just funny how I made a whole video called The Secret to Consistency, and yet my ass wasn't consistent at all. Anyways, the other day, I was just thinking to myself, what would be a good video topic for my first video back? And I just thought, you know what? It's a new year, and I've seen a couple of things where people are talking about like a winter arc, people are talking about locking in, and so I just thought to myself, you know what? I think a good video would be locking in, and the reason why people struggle to lock in. And this is something that I've experienced myself for the past couple of years, as you guys can obviously tell, right? Because like, I start YouTube, I post consistently, then I stop. I start YouTube, I post consistently, then I stop. It's just this constant freaking cycle. Anyways, let me just tell you straight up what it really takes to just lock in. I feel like there's multiple factors, but I feel like this one factor is gonna be probably the most important thing. The answer is obsession. It sounds so obvious, but I think a lot of people don't understand that you truly need to just obsess over your goals. You really just need to like obsess over it. And I guess this is the part where I could tell you a little bit about my story, just so I could give you guys a little bit more context. A couple years ago, when I was first posted on YouTube again, YouTube was an obsession. It was on the forefront of my mind constantly. When I woke up, when I went to sleep, when I was eating, when I was doing anything, it was always, I gotta do something with the video. I gotta do something with the video. I gotta do something with the video. And this obsession allowed me to, again, first of all, put most of my energy and resources into YouTube. Secondly, it made it easier for me to sacrifice things for YouTube. I don't know what it was, but somehow just it was easier for me to just be like, you know what, I gotta go get lunch, but I'm able to hold off on lunch to finish the video. Or I gotta go to sleep, but I want to stay up until midnight, 1 a.m. in the morning to finish this video. Like, I don't know what it was, but obsession just made me be able to sacrifice things a lot more. Another thing is, again, I just was moving differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was going out of my way to make sure a video was done. I was putting myself out there. I was going out and talking to people, things like that, right? Like, when it wasn't an obsession, I just did it without any excuses. And so there's multiple reasons why you'd want to obsess over your goals to really lock in, because obsession is the literal fuel that's going to pump your that's literally going to pump you and just keep you going. And again, I feel like it's a lot easier said than done. I feel like obsession and motivation could play in hand, and you know what I'm saying, like, sometimes you could be obsessed, you could have the ambition, but sometimes you may not have the necessary drive for the obsession. Right, like, am I making sense? You could have the obsession, but sometimes you may not have the drive to keep your obsession going, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, sometimes this is when I was off my YouTube phase, right? I could be sitting down in my room and I'd be like, dang, like, I just have an obsession for YouTube. I have such a passion. I really want to do it. Another part of me is like, I really don't want to get up right now. Like, I'm just so tired. You know what I'm saying? I have the ambition. I just don't have the drive. I guess this next part of the video is going to be about like how to obsess, right? Like how to keep going with your obsession. One thing that I've really been seeing from like other creators and people have been talking about, and I really think is a good shift, is the stories you tell yourself. You need to tell yourself stories that align with a belief. And that belief, it's what's gonna keep driving you as a person, even when the times you don't want to do it. Again, the stories that you tell yourself are going to really shape your beliefs, and those beliefs are going to shape your emotions, and those emotions are going to shape your actions. I probably got the circle mixed up around, I don't know. Anyways, there's a whole identity circle about this, and I'm gonna make a future video about identity shifting and what it really takes to change yourself, change your habits, change your reality. You know what I'm saying? There are always stories that are deep within our brains that are constantly replaying, or that are just sitting there, that are shaping the way we view the world, that are shaping our beliefs, and we don't know it. Those stories really do have an impact of how we view certain things, of how we feel about certain things, which lead us to our actions. What I've been recently doing is, every single time I don't feel like doing something that will improve me as a man or will improve me as a content creator, I think about my story. I replay a new story in my head, and this new story is just something that I made up. It's just kind of like a visualization of what I would like. A story that I kind of engraved into my head, or I keep replaying, is a story that I made up, which is just about my future, right? I see myself being in my own apartment, driving my dream car that I've always wanted for years, having my beautiful girlfriend wake up next to me, and you know, she's just chilling, not having to worry about work too much, because fortunately enough, I'm taking care of us, I'm taking care of my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just envision this certain future in my life that I really want, and that story is what's shaping my belief about certain things. It's shaping my belief of like, no, like, I can do this. I can do this. I just gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. That certain belief about certain things is like, it's just the fuel. It's just the fuel, man, and that keeps me going. That definitely shapes my emotion on certain things, and those emotions are gonna start making me, it's gonna give me temporary push that I just need to get up, do whatever action I need to do for the day. That's how I continue to keep obsession and to keep driving me. Actually, this is something that I've started very recently too. By very recently, I'm probably talking about like last week. Like, and it's something that I really want to take with me going on to 2025. I really want to keep practicing telling myself stories that will impact my emotions, and those emotions will impact my actions. I really want to take this practice with me throughout 2025, but something about this year just feels different. I feel like this year is definitely like a make it or break it type of year, where for myself, at least, for myself, this is definitely like a make it or break it type of year, where in 2025, if I do not accomplish what I've told myself I was going to accomplish in years before, then I don't know if I'm ever gonna accomplish it. Like, that sounds so like fixed mindset, but this year is such a make it or break it type of year, where I have to see results this year, man. I just have to. RNH 100, stay 100 with yourself.